Hi, I'm Steve, and welcome to Sights Less Seen, where I visit those maybe not so well-known places you may not find in the normal tourist guide. Today, I'm in Murfreesboro, North Carolina, visiting the Brady C. Jefcoat Museum. Murfreesboro is about 60 miles southwest of Norfolk, Virginia. The museum houses a collection of American artifacts from the 1850s to the 1950s, collected by Brady C. Jefcoat of Raleigh, North Carolina, who was a local plumber, electrician, and general contractor. The museum includes an unbelievable assortment of glassware, household domestic items, farm tools and equipment, period furniture, and many other artifacts. The collections include toasters, washing machines, irons, churns, music boxes, radios, phonographs, an assortment of old rifles, including old Daisy air rifles, mouse traps, maple syrup taps, beekeeping equipment, mounted animals, and dairy equipment, filling more than 17,000 square feet of display space. There are over 18,000 items on display. Opened in 1997, the museum is located in the old Murfreesboro High School. Now, let's talk a little bit about Brady C. Jefcoat. Now, he wasn't a politician or a sports star or any kind of celebrity. He was a plumber who liked to buy things, anything. He was born in 1916 in South Carolina, but his family moved to North Carolina when he was 6. At age 16, he was badly injured in a car accident while returning from a fishing trip with his father. He had several severe injuries to his right arm and shoulder. He spent a year trying to heal the arm, but in the end, he was left with a bad right hand. Although handicapped, he accomplished more than most people. Eventually, he moved to Raleigh and lived there until he died in 2013. After his wife died, he began collecting stuff, everyday things like I had mentioned earlier. He spent 35 years collecting anything and everything that struck his fancy, from arrowheads, war bond posters, vintage newspapers, and even a dog-powered washing machine. From phones to phonographs, from music boxes to jukeboxes, from antique beds to antique bed pans. To paraphrase, he never met a washing machine he didn't like, or an iron, or a butter churn, or a music box, or anything else. He eventually gave all 18,000 items to the Murfreesboro Historical Society because they assured him his entire collection would be put on display. They then turned the old Murfreesboro High School into a museum. And the hallways housed some unusual items, such as a shelf filled with decorative tape measures, or a variety of old-style mousetraps. The historic kitchens and amazing butter churns exhibit contains such items as a dog-powered washing machine, as I mentioned earlier, a plethora of irons, and other items that are listed as from the incredible to the ridiculous that were used in kitchens back in the early 1900s. The historic farm and agriculture exhibit has an incredible number of early farm equipment and rare tools from the 1900s, along with numerous very interesting agricultural innovations. It really helps you to see how far we have come in terms of agricultural related tools over the last 100 years. The wildlife exhibit could also be called the history of everything outdoors. It contains a huge collection of historic fishing and hunting equipment with a large assortment of weapons. It even has an extensive assortment of taxidermy examples. Okay, now I have a question for you. Has anyone ever owned or played a 78 RPM record player? Well, I have. As a matter of fact, I still own one, and I have the records to play on it. You have to crank it up to make it play. The entertainment exhibit is a huge room of entertainment memories containing records and posters and gobs of different types of memorabilia. You can go back in time and find music that you've heard a long, long time ago. There's a vast assortment of radios and record players, including Thomas Edison's first phonograph, invented in 1877. The Indian Artifacts exhibit hosts an assortment of arrowheads, tools, and grinding stones found locally at Indian villages from bygone days. It shows tools for hunting, fishing, and cooking. Miscellaneous treasures contains an assortment of vintage items, such as a complete blacksmith shop and a royal harp. Two of the most prized items, though, is the original RCA dog statue and an actual sofa from the movie Gone with the Wind. Now, you need to time your visit just right because it's only open Saturdays from 11 to 4 and Sundays from 2 to 5. Depending on your level of interest, you could spend all day walking through a building and looking at the 18,000 pieces of Americana, or maybe just an hour or two. Either way, it's a unique and very interesting stop to make while traveling through the area. Admission is a measly $8 for adults and only $6 for students. For that price, you'll see things that would cost you 2, 3, or more times for admission in other places. And remember, there are over 18,000 things to see. Oh, by the way, they only accept cash or checks. The museum is located at 201 High Street in Murfreesboro, North Carolina. As I mentioned, it's about 60 miles southwest of Norfolk, Virginia, which makes an interesting day trip if you're in Norfolk, or an interesting side trip if you're going to Norfolk or leaving Norfolk. As I mentioned, this museum contains over 17,000 exhibits. Whether you're an antique buff or you're just interested in late 19th, early 20th century furniture, pictures, appliances, radios, and even toilets, the vast variety of equipment here will just captivate you. Okay, my name's Steve. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave me a comment and go back and watch my others too. I'll see you next time on Sights Less Seen.